Nintendo just announced Doug Bowser, the president of Nintendo of America, is retiring December 31st, and by January 1st, we will have our first female president, known as Devin Pritchard. Now, Devin has been with the company since 2006 and previously held roles of Executive Vice President of Business Affairs and Publisher Relations, and she'll be joined, actually, with Satoru Shibata, who will become NOA's CEO, which is interesting because before, Doug Bowser was both the president and CEO from Nintendo of America. So now they're kind of splitting the roles into two different sections here, giving the CEO job here to Shibata. But he will be retaining his role as Managing Executive Officer and Corporate Director at Nintendo. So it seems like he's going to be kind of her like right-wing man side by side, helping her out through this new task, which is exciting. Now, here's a little chart showing the Nintendo presidents of America throughout the years. We've only had 4, and moving on to our 5th with Devin. But first, we had Minoru Arakawa from 1980 to 2002. Then we had Tatsumi Kimishima from 2002 to 2006, and you might remember his face because he's now the global president of Nintendo. He's the big head honcho now. He actually took over the role from Iwata when he passed. We then obviously had the best president, Reggie Fils-Aimé, from 2006 to 2019, and then from 2019 to 2025, we had Doug Bowser. And of course, from 2026 and beyond, we are moving on with Devin Pritchard. Now, Doug Bowser did put up a tweet on wrong one. He tweeted, "Today I announced my plan to retire from Nintendo, effective December 31st, 2025. Nintendo has been an integral part of my life for 44 years, starting with Donkey Kong Arcade as a kid in college. It has been an honor to contribute to the incredible company and bring our beloved characters and worlds to fans through our video games, theme parks, and movie experiences. I extend my best wishes to Devin Pritchard as she leads Nintendo of America forward, and I thank all of you for your passion and support of Nintendo, and you can count on me to remain a Nintendo fan." Now, Devin Pritchard had some words to say, of course becoming the new Nintendo of America president, stating, "I am humble and excited to take on this new role. Doug has been a fantastic mentor, and I look forward to building on the incredible foundation he has helped establish. With characters and worlds that offer something for everyone, my focus will be continuing to build on Nintendo's legacy of surprising and delighting our longtime fans, while at the same time welcoming new players into the Nintendo family." Now, a lot of people are split on this. This is actually still a pretty big deal. Now, it won't affect us consumers that much, but it does kind of set tones and, different smaller things for the company. And a lot of people are torn on whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. A lot of people didn't really like Doug Bowser. Of course, he had huge shoes to fill from Reggie Fils-Aimé, where Reggie Fils-Aimé got out there and he showed his love and compassion for Nintendo. He put himself in front of the camera all the time for Nintendo Directs and just brought a lot of life and fun to the company. I mean, you could just feel it from Nintendo. Even at their lowest point with the Wii U, it just felt fun still. Nintendo was doing wacky and goofy things, and it's something that a lot of us desperately want back from Nintendo, is just that loving, charismatic character that he brought to the table. And a lot of it also was probably due to Iwata, which was the global president of Nintendo at the time, and he just had a different way of handling things with Nintendo. He also poured his heart and soul and love out into the company. I mean, he even took pay cuts to make sure that Nintendo's employees were paid during the lowest periods with the Wii U. So it's not all because of Reggie Fils-Aimé, you know what I mean? It's also because of the fact that Nintendo was just a different company back then. But still, Reggie was likable, and I think everyone loved Reggie. I don't know if there was anyone out there who literally did not like Reggie. He was just awesome. But ever since Iwata's passing, there's been a shift, and not just with Iwata, but also when Reggie left, because when Doug Bowser jumped in 2019, there definitely was a shift that was felt, because still, even with the launch of the Switch in 2017 and 2018, it still very much felt like Nintendo. But right around that time where Doug Bowser stepped in, things felt different. I mean, seriously, when I think back at the most memories I have of Doug Bowser, it's just that very first reveal during that 2019 Nintendo Direct where Doug Bowser introduces himself with that little Bowser gag, which was cool. That was it. Now, there's no doubt that Doug Bowser helped to maintain a ship of success for Nintendo throughout the rest of the Nintendo Switch, and even with huge success with the launch of Switch 2, I mean, you can't blame the guy. I mean, he's cooking, you know what I mean? The Switch 2 is doing better than ever. I mean, he's doing his job as Nintendo's president, but at the same time, he doesn't really have that fan connection that people want. Like I said, I only have really like 3 core memories of him at all. The first one being that Nintendo Direct where he showed up with Bowser. The second one being the launch of the Switch 2, just kind of talking about it on like news networks and stuff. And then the only other one was him defending Mario Kart World's price, saying that it's definitely worth $80. You have to wait for the game to come out to see it. He lied. Now, a lot of people are coming out and expressing their opinions. For instance, this Twitter user says he appears in E3 2019 Direct, defended Mario Kart World being $80. That's the only memory they have of him, and I can't lie, that's just same as me. That's what I just said. People are also talking about how it feels very unceremonious this time, where Reggie had this whole farewell video, and it just felt really emotional as he was going throughout his years of being at Nintendo, and just kind of like this big goodbye celebration, and now this one was just like, hey, I'm done. See ya. He's also said some questionable things. I remember him saying something along the lines of like, if you can't get you a Switch 2 because of the money, then go out and buy a Switch 1, which was like, did he just call us broke? Kit and Krista, former employees at Nintendo that now have the Kit and Krista podcast and YouTube channel, they actually talked about this, and they always have some really fun insight. They are 2 super nice people. Definitely go check out their channel and subscribe while you're at it. But for them working at Nintendo as long as they did, they knew Doug Bowser, and they also knew Devin Pritchard. So they had information on both of them, where they said Doug was a really, really nice guy and a great leader, especially during the quarantine, which was very tough, but he did his job perfectly, and he was loved by pretty much everybody at the company. He was a super nice guy, and that's pretty much their final remarks on him, is just how nice of a guy he was, which is great to hear. And they also said the same thing about Devin, that she was extremely nice and easy to talk to, and they worked with her for a while before she would move up into higher status and stuff when they first got at Nintendo. But yeah, they claim that the company's in good hands with her, that she knows what she's doing, and she's holding a Pikmin plush. Pikmin 5 is confirmed. Actually, no, Kit and Krista actually did state in their show that no, she's not really a huge Pikmin fan. She's just holding a plush. Sorry, Pikmin fans. Or, hold on, theory. Maybe she's holding a ballboard plush because she's a villain. She's killing off the franchise. Pull your 3DSs out, everybody. Hey, Pikmin 2 is coming. Now, there's already people out there that think she actually may not be great for the company. As this Twitter user states, for those unaware of the abject terror this induces, Devin Pritchard has spearheaded several insane lawsuits on the side of Nintendo and is a huge numbers corpo type. Expect things to get bad. Now, of course, that take is a little bit on the extreme side, but who knows what form this new presidency is going to take. In fact, Kit and Krista did state, don't expect a Reggie sort of down-to-earth corporation fan collide sort of thing where they're very communicative. Like, she's very much the face of the company, and she's appearing in Nintendo Directs and stuff like that. They don't think it's going to happen whatsoever. They think this is just a new Nintendo, and under their new leadership, they don't really, come out to the public as much anymore. They stay behind the scenes, and yeah, Nintendo is kind of formulating into this new hardworking, well-oiled machine now, instead of, the friends of the fans. And I feel like this kind of sucks, because yes, it is important that Nintendo succeeds, and it's good to have a really strong business, model for Nintendo where they know exactly what's going to make them the most money, and they're a business first. I understand that, but still, it just seems like, is business first, friendship 87th. I feel like having somewhat of a balance is important. As a president, you want your fans to love you, and you want to be very likable, and you want to be, kind of this face for Nintendo that shows that you're not just a greedy corporation to steal your money and charge $80 for a Mario Kart racing game. And no matter how you feel about it, I feel like that family-friendly, fun-feeling Nintendo is just gone out the window. That era is over, and we just have to come to that conclusion and that reality. And it sucks, it does, and I'm always going to miss that side of Nintendo. But as consumers, which this is exactly what Doug Bowser would call us instead of fans like Reggie Fils-Aimé did, I'm just saying, I don't think this is going to affect as much as the consumer, like Kit and Krista stated in their podcast. That's, more of the Japanese side. Those are the big wigs. Those are the ones that are, changing how things operate. If we start losing some game developers and stuff, we're going to see notices in the game quality and stuff like that. And of course, maybe like Nintendo Directs and stuff, stuff, none of this is going to be affected by Nintendo of America's president changing. So don't expect different Nintendo Directs, which sucks because, yeah, I think that needs to change as well. The marketing, oh my gosh. I feel like the entire marketing with Switch 2 has been just off the rails. Like random Switch 2 console reveal one random morning. No general directs when the time periods we should be getting them. Instead, they're like, hey, here's a partner showcase. And yeah, just weird decisions all the way around. But, you know, that's for a different group of people. We are not really talking about that here, unfortunately. But only time will tell what Devin Pritchard will bring to the table. But I will say thank you, Doug Bowser, for helping the Switch be so successful and have such a massive launch for this Switch 2. You seem like a very nice guy. Everyone calls you a very nice guy. I never knew you personally, never met you, but thank you so much for the work that you have done for the company. I just wish you were a little closer to us fans, you know. But I mean, to me, it comes down to one thing, and Devin Pritchard can get us back to where we once were. I'm just gonna leave this here. This is all I'm saying.